Yes, it's true. You are watching the greatest late night show in the world today, covering professional wrestling. And you're here live to witness it all. Tonight's going to be a special night. It's always a special night when you're here in the Savage Kingdom for Monday Night Raw. Are we going to see Vince McMahon? Does Cody Rhodes make his return? I don't know, but if you stick around, you're going to find out right here on Wrestling with Savage.
You're watching Wrestling with Savage, the best late night wrestling show in the world. And the loveliest, baddest, hottest ballet in the game, the lovely Miss Larkin, approves this message.
I say you are listening to Wrestling with Savage, the best podcast in the history of podcasts.
Pedigree, 1, 2, 3, Brian say you live at the champ. A last ride straight to hell, a tombstone, a choke slam. Here to give it to you raw. This is Wrestling with Savage. SmackDown, hold the title. This is Wrestling with Savage. What?
Because they are the best tag team in the world.
It'd be my honor to be a guest on your show.
Christmas fully ranked. Good job, Savage. It's the best town in pro wrestling. Can't get a fucking Raw man yet. Raw fucking
We're Savage!
Listen to Wrestling with Savage. It's MDK and Wrestle with Savage all fucking day.
I say you live at the champ. A last ride straight to hell, a tombstone, a choke slam. Here to give it to you raw. This is Wrestling with Savage. SmackDown, hold the title. This is Wrestling with Savage. What?
I'm trying to give these two W's.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going live right now on Wrestling with Savage. And yes, you are here, a part of the Savage Kingdom. I am the king. The hand of the king is not here tonight, but we do have Jay. We do have Anthony. We do have Lewis. Big shout out to Gilch. Big shout out to the YouTube chat. I see you out there. And you know what? Let's get straight into the conversation. Let's not bullshit and cut you a 20-minute promo right now. Let's not waste your time. Jay, I was going to go to you first, but you know what? Instead, I'm going to just say quickly what I think about the companies that are going to buy the WWE in the next 6 months imminently. And in my opinion, I'll tell you right now, I don't care who it is. It doesn't matter to me as long as Triple H is the man that's left in charge so he can complete his vision for at least 4 or 5 years, which I think WWE is smart enough to make sure that that kind of thing stays in place, that whoever buys the company, Trips is going to be the guy in charge of creative for at least a few years before we can just change the guard to whatever the hell the new owner wants. And who that new owner is, it's someone that you're very familiar with, someone who takes intellectual property very seriously, and they buy it, and they will pay any amount of money for it because they want to take advantage of that intellectual property and, of course, make money with it, because that's what this is. This is a business. And in the world of today's business, nobody beats Mickey Mouse. Nobody beats Disney. Nobody beats Disney right now when it comes to big money and big money mergers and big money fucking moves. And it looks like we got a surprise guest hopping on his own accord, not even asking permission, just jumping in the room. He may get booted, he may not. It depends on his behavior over here, because I saw him earlier tonight, but you were a little wild tonight in there. But, you know, it was good. It was good TV. And I watched it, and I was there, and I threw you love, and I supported you. But now you're going to sit here and listen to me talk to you about why Mickey Mouse is going to be the fucking man. I know you could shake your head, but Mickey Mouse is coming, I think. That's just my humble opinion. And the reason I want that to happen more than the others, to be honest, I don't really care what happens. I don't care, because I know I'm going to watch Triple H for a few years. But what I would like to see that, because for me, watching what they've done with the Marvel and the movies they've made and the quality and the time they've taken with each character and intellectual property, I would love to see some amazing, incredible movies and biopics and all these different, biographies, whatever you want to call them, just movies, CG movies. Imagine Toy Story quality, Shrek quality CG movies about Andre the Giant and Hulk Hogan and Bruno Sammartino and everybody, Jimmy Snuka, all the people that are dead that aren't back that we miss and we love and we want to see them. The money you can make off the legends. And I know you think yelling isn't the way you should always cut a promo, but I can take it from yelling to talking to sleeping to laughing to doing whatever I want, because number one, this is Wrestling with Savage, the greatest late night wrestling talk show in the world today, and there isn't a human being alive on earth who can come on my show and tell me differently and prove me wrong. Ain't gonna happen. Now, Jose, Jay, my loyal friend, he's been here with me for 23 years plus. He's seen it all. He has seen me taking all kinds of punishment and damage. He's been there. He's seen some of my bumps. He's seen some of the shit. He's been there to see it all. I've been living this business longer than you've been eating food, okay? I can't even tell you. 3 years old, loving professional wrestling. That's why this is what I do. It's wrestling. Nothing is better than wrestling to me. Nothing. Nothing except one thing, actually. But not till you get that thing. When you get your family, when you have your close ones that you love.
Oh.
You know that. Your loved ones, right? They're not. Is that priority
No, I thought
to
you were just talking about pussy.
Oh no. Oh, that's
Anyway.
a different. That's a different age. That's between
Can I
the
tell
ages
you-
of 18 to like 29. You know, at least in my opinion. But
Can
before
I
you
tell
tell
you
me,
why-
hold on. Before
Okay.
you tell me anything, you're gonna have to wait your turn because this is
I'm
like
sorry.
the Savage Kingdom, and in the Savage Kingdom we have a round table, and right here you're looking at the many knights of the round table. Are you one of the knights of the round table? I don't know, but maybe. I think you have what it takes to be knighted. But Jay, tell me who should buy WWE and why.
I'm gonna be honest. I haven't really followed it, but I heard of Comcast, which Lewis and I was talking before, and now you mentioned Walt Disney to me. I don't really have a preference, man. As long as they could take care of the product and do well with it. I don't really have a preference, to be honest, man. And I don't really know much about Comcast, so I'm not sure what they could do, but I know what Disney could do. Look what they're doing with ESPN. I think that works. Get a lot of subscribers out of that. So. I'm not sure, man. I'm not, like I said, I don't really have a preference, but I know perhaps out there in the demographic world, not a lot of people are gonna like Comcast compared to a name Disney that's branded for, over 50 plus, even more than that.
I mean, Comcast is an obvious choice because it makes the transition easy. Lewis, how about you, man? Where do you see WWE going? Where do you want them to go? What do you want them to do?
I want WWE to go to Disney. I think any other option that you give me is all media based. It's whatever they're going to take the WWE and put it on their streaming network. That's all they're going to do. And they're going to continue what they're doing. Disney takes WWE. We got WWE in theme parks. We got guys like Kane running around. We got guys like The Undertaker running around.
Okay. I can see that.
Imagine a wrestling show live from Magic Kingdom.
You're not wrong. No, the money there, the theme parks, the attractions, the merchandise, the experience that they have to bring this to the next level as far as money making is concerned. Because, like I said, it's a business. You have to make money. What makes more money than like theme parks that destroy you for $200, another $200 for the fast pass, another $400 for the hotel, then another $10,000 for the VIP deluxe Undertaker will suck you off experience. The potential for money making is incomprehensible when you put Disney in the mix. But I digress.
Think about it like this: the PC is in Orlando, Disney is in Orlando.
Yes, sir. Yes.
How
Great
easy
point.
would it be to get an autograph signing when 90% of those guys live in Orlando?
Imagine the vignettes we could get from, like you said, the Magic Kingdom or SeaWorld with the NXT superstars just fucking hopping off Shamu's back, doing an elbow drop onto a fucking dolphin, and they ride the dolphin, and then Otis tries to fucking frog splash the dolphin, maybe. You get the superstars that, I don't know, I'm just crazy. Anthony, we're out of here. We're on another level tonight. Anthony, tell me. You're holding your fucking head. I know you're about to piss your pants. Just tell me. Who should buy WWE and why?
I'm in agreement with Lewis on this one.
Okay. All right.
Same reasonings that he just stated.
All right, we'll keep that short and sweet. We're going to go straight to the guy that's been waiting to talk right now. Everyone loves ABJ, including Savage. Make sure you go over to his page. ABJ, feel free to spam the link in the chat so we can get you some more people from maybe my side who haven't seen your show yet. Because ABJ does a very good job of actually talking professional wrestling. I like what he has to say. He actually sounds more like Kevin Owens than me. If anybody ever says that, he sounds way more like Kevin Owens than I do. He really does sound like Kevin Owens.
I'm not even Canadian.
He even looks like Kevin Owens a little bit. No, it's scary how much you do sound like Kevin Owens. So you already have a good voice for it. You have a good insight. He's a commentator all over the country. He travels. He does the thing. He does the grind. He does the damn thing. He has the passion. He has the love. So, yes, Anthony, ABJ.
All right.
Tell
Listen,
me.
for all the reasons why you guys think Disney's a good buyout, I'm going to tell you why it's not first, before I tell you my pick. Disney's not a good buyout because for us as wrestling fans, we hold wrestling to a higher regard. But realistically, in the world of major pop culture, they steal from wrestling, but nobody wants to admit where they got it. Wrestling's not at that level, and a lot of major organizations and companies don't treat wrestling the way we treat wrestling. So I think Disney buying wrestling would be bad for professional wrestling. You look at it and they would water it down. You wouldn't get the same product. I don't think they would stick it in theme parks and you would have events in wrestling and stuff like that. I don't think they hold it to the same love and passion as a Disney would. This is why Comcast is the clear choice of why you want WWE to go there. WWE and Comcast has been together for a very, very, very long time on the USA Network. WWE pulled out of Comcast and went to another network for about 5 years and realized that they didn't have the same passion for their product as Comcast once did. Then came back to the USA Network. Comcast then took in their developmental brand and put it on TV in NXT. Comcast believes in professional wrestling. They have been marketing their professional wrestling. They understand what it means to have a wrestling company and have proven that over a long span of professional wrestling with WWE, as well as adding it to Peacock. Now listen, we haven't gotten the full merger from WWE over from Peacock, but Peacock is also looking at stuff that's out there with Dark Side of the Ring and the negative things of pro wrestling and still telling those stories where I think if WWE were, if somewhere else were to buy them and then the Dark Side of Ric Flair comes out, they would cancel it immediately and bury it and you would never see that stuff again, where Comcast understands that the business has evolved and they can keep growing off of it. And also being a PA person, if Comcast buys professional wrestling,
that's the only reason you want this to happen. I've been hearing you talk about it for a goddamn week, and this is a biased opinion because it favors you. Just like earlier, when my wife said, hold on, listen to this. My wife was like, why can't you, who the fuck is that guy? I don't care about that guy. I'm not going to come to that guy's son. Can't you get The Rock? Like The Rock. The only reason you want me to get The Rock is so that you can fucking meet him. Because it's a biased pick.
What about
I'm just fucking listen, anybody could buy this company. Comcast makes the most sense because, like you said, the transition will be smooth. But at the end of the day, none of these people give a fuck about WWE the way the McMahons give a fuck about the WWE. So when, 5 years down the road, when you have no McMahons in the picture or no Triple H or maybe 10 years, whatever it is, when you get to that point when there's no longer a McMahon involved, that fan that you're talking about, that passion, that love, it's not the same anymore. It's just not, and it doesn't matter whose hands it's in, whether it's Comcast or Disney. That day will come, hopefully not too soon, and that's the day that I'm scared for. And you should be too.
Yeah. All these companies that we're talking about, Amazon, Disney, all these companies that are front runners, they had opportunities to go buy wrestling companies. True. You don't think MLW would take a bigger deal?
100%.
You don't think Impact would take a bigger
100%.
deal? They're not jumping at wrestling. They're just 100%. Jumping at the fact that this is a $6 billion industry that they could possibly get into with WWE.
This is all comes down to money, man. Listen, the books on WWE are like insane to look at. The reports, the return every single year just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. It's a cash cow machine. Not to mention the deals they have worldwide with Saudi Arabia and India.
Disney's not taking that Saudi deal. No way.
Probably not. Yeah, I could see that. If Disney buys it, I could see those shows being done with.
Yeah, but also another reason why you want Comcast is because where's Comcast stationed out of?
Philadelphia.
WrestleMania 40, what better way to announce that we are not only taking over the WWE, but we are bringing the WWE headquarters to Comcast and in Philadelphia, where essentially pro wrestling is better than anywhere else in the world.
I'm from New York, so I think it's arguable. I'll say it's arguable.
ECW.
Yeah, I saw. I was there. We also had ECW in Elks Lodge, Queens, my man. I was helping set up the ring over there, watching Rob Van Dam do things that you can only dream about, baby.
And 30 people were in PA. I'm just not joking.
No, baby. No, listen, I had fun at PA when I went down there. It was a great time. It made me feel like I was in ECW all over again. So that building is a very special building. I will be coming back there. I'm not coming back there to watch Enzo take on Mini-Me or whatever that guy's name is, but...
There's a good promo though. Did you watch the promo?
Yes. Very entertaining
Enzo's
stuff.
A beast.
Yes, I love
Enzo said, I'm gonna take those Jordans and hang them from my rearview mirror because there ain't no looking back.
But real quick, we got to get into Monday Night Raw here. So Jay, I'm gonna go back to you first. We opened up with Kevin Owens. Did you think this is the opening we were gonna get? And what were you like? Obviously got interrupted by JBL. He comes out talking some shit. One Generation, you guys all in Alabama. By the way, Raw was coming live from Alabama. He said One Generation from all walking on all fours. He believes, he says you all believe in Bigfoot, aliens, and the Chupacabra. Basically redneck Alabama people. No one believes, that anybody here is worth anything. JBL hates Alabama. He hates everybody in Alabama. But he also goes on to say that no one believes that you can beat Roman Reigns, and you definitely can't beat the modern day wrestling god Baron Corbin. And of course, we then get a match between Kevin Owens and Corbin. So Jay, I'm just going to go straight to you first. What did you think of the match, the promo, the opening, the way Raw started?
I wasn't surprised about the opening. I was expecting Kevin Owens to come out. I was more surprised at JBL. I thought he made it entertaining for me. I was pretty much laughing at everything he was saying, so he still got it. When Baron Corbin came out and had the match, I'm not going to lie, I didn't enjoy Baron Corbin's performance. I always thought he was good, I still think, but I don't know, he just looked a bit slow. It looked like the timing wasn't there. I wish I saw better from Corbin tonight, but I didn't. And, we got this match. KO with the stunner, you know how I feel about that. I wish it was the pop-up powerbomb, but, just didn't really do nothing for me tonight.
All right. Hey, BJ, give me your quick take on this match and the opening, and what did you think? I believe I heard you said the Bloodline was going to open up Raw.
I thought the Bloodline was going to open up, and they kind of did. They came in after the match. I said it was interesting because Corbin, love him or hate him, has been kind of a protected guy for a long time in WWE, and then putting him up against Kevin, who's very protected right now. I think Corbin's very talented. I just think a lot of fans don't get behind him. I think he's good in the ring. I think the match was good, and I think he did exactly what he was supposed to do to put over Kevin Owens.
Absolutely, I agree with that. Kevin Owens looked strong at the end of the day. I was kind of surprised to see him come out first, just by himself. I did like that he ended up looking super strong at the end of the match by taking back the steel chair, beating the shit out of them, chasing them out of the arena, out of the building. Adam Pearce is going to kick out the Usos, and then Solo Sikoa is going to stay on board because he's going to have a match, which we'll get into in a little bit. Lewis, how about you, man? Kevin Owens, what did he do for you tonight in this opening match?
Kind of the same thing everybody else just said,
Yeah, that's where we're going to switch it up. We're going to let everybody go first.
You gotta make him look decently good. He's wrestling Roman, so you have to make him look strong going into this. You have to make him look like he's a real contender for this title.
He is a real contender, but I don't know.
Yeah.
It depends where they're going with the storyline.
But you gotta make him at least look like he's gonna win.
This whole storyline depends on one guy in Hollywood that isn't answering phone calls right now, so we'll get to him later. Who else didn't go? How about you, Anthony? Ant, I'm calling you Ant. I'm calling him ABJ.
I'm going to be honest. I don't think we needed Kevin Owens on Raw tonight. He's on SmackDown. Okay. What is he doing on Raw?
Why not? He's Kevin fucking Owens. He stunned Stone Cold at WrestleMania 38.
I don't give a shit.
I think he's actually technically a Raw.
I think he's a Raw superstar too. Yeah. I agree with that.
All right. Well.
I don't know. Is the split even a thing anymore? They don't even talk about it. They don't mention...
Only for certain people. Certain people who are exclusive to one show.
Until someone gets hurt and they need someone to fill a spot, and then they say, "Hey, come on over, come to work."
Bray and Ronda and Charlotte, I believe, are the only exclusive deals right now in pro wrestling where they are.
I think you mentioned Bray has to stay on SmackDown. We don't really get Bray tonight. We get somebody else, but. It's okay. People are asking about the big announcements that I have, which, all right, I'll get into one or two of them. But first, shout out to the chat. Jake the Tribal Chief, Steven Chambers. Of course, Mick Thomason, always being awesome. Daniel's here. We got Steven Chambers, I think I already said. Jakey Bakey. I'm probably repeating your names, but don't blame me. Blame the drugs. Shout out to Tantalizing Tony for letting me come on his show tonight after ABJ decided to go to the bar. He's back from the bar. I don't know what you drank. We'll get into that later. But let's talk about announcements. Everybody wants announcements. All right, so 80s Wrestling Con is a thing. It's going down May 6th, 2023, which is this year. There's going to be a lot going down over there, which I'll get into that later in the night, maybe. But what's going down for me is I'm having a vendor table over there, and there is a legend coming. And I don't want to give you any clues or anything like that. I'm not going to surprise you until it's 100% confirmed. These things take time. You have to talk to their guys, and then you got to talk to the other guy, and you got to work out the money and who's going to do what and the details. It's a little complicated thing. Contract signing because you don't want to get screwed. But it is going to happen. And if you're in the area in New Jersey, I highly recommend you come over to our booth. I will be there. Lewis is going to be there. He's going to have his own setup. Ant-Man's going to be with me. Jay, I don't know if he's going to be there. Who knows? I don't even know if he's ever going to be on this show when he comes online. But you know who's on this show every single time? Savage. And now Savage is going to tell you about who he's going to have an interview with coming up soon. CAP graduates. certified jetpack. You know what? I don't even have to talk about him. I'm just going to let the video play. Watch Aaron Rourke, who's going to be live on Wrestling with Savage. More than likely next Sunday. I'll put the date and time when I have it. Check out the video, boys. Wrestling with Savage exclusive interview with Aaron Rourke. Let's take a look at Aaron Rourke's career, because it's coming up. It's going to be a big year for 2023 for Aaron Rourke. Creative Pro graduate, future superstar, headed for a major payday. You can see the jetpack is attached to Aaron Rourke. The moveset is perfection. Smooth. Presentation, flawless. One of the best independent wrestlers on the circuit today. I have personally witnessed banger after banger after banger. And after this interview, if you don't know who Aaron Rourke is, not only will you know, but you will love Aaron Rourke, and you will be ready to watch him take off in 2023. What a hell of a professional wrestler, and what a hell of a year to be a pro wrestling fan right here on Wrestling with Savage, baby. Don't miss the interview. Follow Aaron Rourke on Instagram today. Yes, I hope you watched that. Aaron Rourke will be here, and also we're going to have Vicious Vicky. I'm going to play her video a little later in the night. She's also going to be on the show, but she's going to be on the show on Wednesday. On Wednesday night, she's actually going to be a guest host. She's going to be here all night talking AEW with us. I'm going to start it off with a quick little interview, and then we're going to get right into AEW and what she thinks. She actually had a match against Athena, which, you know what? No, we'll save the clip for later. Right now, let's get back into professional
Did that match ever air?
Which one? I don't know. I think it was a dark match or Elevation. Or...
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if that aired. But
a lot of matches never air.
She's the current champion of a promotion I do commentary at.
She's awesome.
New Jersey.
She's very cool. Very cool.
Queen of New Jersey.
You guys should all go follow her on Instagram. I'll show her socials a little later in the night. I'll drop some links, and of course after this video.
She's a mean chick, man. She beats the hell out of people.
I think she's gonna have a good year this year. I think she's gonna have a big year. So I'm excited to have her on to talk some wrestling. It's nice to just not always do an interview. Yeah, definitely. She's been mentioned, but it's just nice to be able to, I don't want to just have an interview. I'd love to be able to get some of these wrestlers to come on here and actually talk about the show, the product, what did they think of it, or the bumps, you know what I mean? Get that really inside perspective from someone who's active in the game doing it right now, which is one of the reasons why I love my show. It's one of those shows where we come on here and we're not always just bullshit. We try to just give you exactly what happened on Raw and all that. We talked about the match with Kevin Owens and Corbin. The match itself...
Also trained by Pat Buck, I believe.
Corbin looked good. Tonight, I saw one weak super kick from Kevin Owens that I didn't like. Other than that, the match was solid. You know, I did not like the replays tonight. Raw felt like an episode from 4 months ago with all the video packages and nonstop reminding us of what happened last week. And it continued with basically a lot of bullshit. Dolph Ziggler's going to be on there tonight. There's going to be a match where the winners of the tag team match are going to face the Usos. It's going to be like the main event. I think there was like 4 teams involved. Very long match, by the way. The match started I think the match started in the 9 o'clock hour.
Long. It was an hour long.
I think it was over an hour long. I swear to God.
Maybe like 9:45-ish, maybe?
Something like that.
And then we hit like a because we had the Miz promo first, and then we had all that stuff happen.
I was in Tony's show, and I just remember talking to him, telling him, dude, this match is this going to be the main event? Like, what the hell? Like, what's the main event? I was like, there's no way this is the main event, because look what time it's starting. But it was the main event, and we did have a good ending to the night. So stick around.
They said...
No, go. You're good, Lewis. I'm sorry.
I was going to say, they said, this is the main event, and I looked at my phone, and I was like, what?
Yeah, I had the same
literally
thing.
9:45.
I didn't believe that this was the main event, but it was. We also got a package, Bianca and Alexa video package going, everything again. And then Alexa's on the table. She's on the commentary desk. She's standing there, and she's cutting a promo. And I'm going to go to Ant first on this one. What did you think of Alexa Bliss's promo tonight?
I'm ABJ, you're Ant.
Yeah, he's Ant. Yeah, no, he needs to put his thoughts together, because he doesn't want to say something he's going to regret.
No, I don't care. She's.
If it's shit, just tell us. I didn't like it. This shit was whack.
She is fucking terrible at promos.
Terrible. Okay. I'm not going to disagree
and
with you.
she sucks in the ring, so I don't know why they still fucking keep her around. There you go.
All right, Lewis, how about you? What did Alexa Bliss's promo do for you tonight? And then, of course, Uncle Howdy, or as ABJ likes to say, Uncle Duty comes out, and then we go straight to goddamn commercial break. And what's the fucking point? I don't know. I'm going to try not to curse too much. But what was the point of that whole segment? Just to end again. I'm sick of the little teases. Give me a little substance. He got in the ring. He was able to do a move to Bray Wyatt, but he can't get in the ring tonight and like have a little like face off with Alexa or something. Something. Commercial break, ABJ? Jay, what did this do for you?
Jeez, a lot of harsh things being said to Alexa Bliss tonight. I actually liked this.
I liked
maybe
her
I'm the only one
facials
tonight, but I actually liked it. I thought it reminded me of the old Bliss. I thought she cut everything perfect. I don't like the whole hocus pocus mistake, but with the whole Uncle Howdy, but it looks like the rumor is true. They said it was old Dallas, so I'm gonna go with that.
I believe
that. So, hey, I love this promo. I thought it was good for Bliss. It did it for me.
Ant's like trying to figure out how you could believe that. ABJ, what did it do for you?
I liked it.
I don't think Alexa Bliss is absolutely terrible at promos. I don't think she's terrible in the ring. We had her as a 5-time champion at one point in time. I thought she put together some good matches. The problem is Alexa Bliss got caught up in a spooky storyline that didn't fit her. And once she got caught up in a spooky storyline, her character fell apart. And what better way to make Bliss a recognizable person again is they start building her up and stick her with spooky character again. I've been saying even before Bray was not hired, I said, I give you all 6 months and you're going to be looking at your TV saying this doesn't make any sense because every week it's more questions, no answers. That's been Bray Wyatt for every single year he's been a part of professional wrestling. I'm sure he's a really nice guy. I'm sure wrestling marks who like guys with masks and their face painted think it's cool. But when it comes to actual psychology and an actual storytelling, you never ever get a payoff from Bray Wyatt. And 90% of the things that you get excited for is fan speculation because you never get answers. I can care less. I don't care what Bray Wyatt does. I don't care about Howdy Poopy Pants and how his mask is now different, and I just don't care. I don't care because every week they change it because they're bored and they never stick to anything solid.
It's just like there's nothing to connect the dots to. Like where is it going? There's no finality. There's like no story. Like there's no real storytelling going on. It's just bullshit. Stage and like a Broadway show. Like come out, stand there, lights, camera action, and fuck off.
If Vince Russo made a horror movie.
That's not a bad analogy, actually.
All right, bro, hear me out. This week, I'm gonna wear a mask. And then next week, we're gonna change the mask, bro. Think about it.
Yeah.
Are you gonna explain it?
It's not bad.
No, that's the beauty of it. We never explain anything.
Yeah.
We just keep changing it every week, bro.
Love it.
They ask the questions and we change, we change them. Lewis, how about you? Are you the same? Are you on Ant's side?
I'm on Ant's side.
Okay.
It did nothing for me realistically. I've been saying, I don't know if I've
Good comment. I'm sorry to interrupt you. Good comment by Steven Chambers. Said pitch black match is going to be a good bathroom break.
Yeah, your big spooky character is sponsored by Mountain Dew. I don't need to say anything else.
Go on, Lewis.
I was gonna say, I've been saying, I don't know if I said this on this podcast, but I thought they should have sent Alexa back down to NXT. Not because she needs work, but just because she needs something new to do. She's done everything she could possibly do on the main roster. There is nothing left for her to do. Why not do what they just did with the New Day? Send her down, have her win the title, have her win the tag title, have her do something different because right now you're throwing her in this Bray Wyatt stuff because there's nothing left for her to do.
Again, I liked the bitch. Alexa Bliss.
Says the bitch Alexa Bliss.
I did. That character was interesting to watch.
Is that the actual name of her character? The bitch Alexa Bliss?
She was kind of like a bully bitch who.
Yeah, but they didn't say that on TV. They were like, it's the bitch Alexa Bliss.
So you know how you fix Alexa Bliss?
You don't, man. Listen, like you said, she used to put on bangers. She's not wrestling the way she was 5 years ago. Let's be honest.
Here's how you fix her. Because she needs to go into a spot where she's a bigger fish in a small pond and actually be in a storyline where they could possibly do something good and put her against someone that can do a long-term story and make things make sense. Right now, Captain Howdy bouncing between 2 shows and 2 different characters makes 0 sense. She needs to get over to SmackDown if she wants to go over and be part of this stable. I think she wins the Rumble. I think she goes over to SmackDown to challenges Charlotte.
Terrible.
And I think her and Charlotte doing a story where now Charlotte's a babyface. Charlotte needs a heel to work because there's nobody in SmackDown.
Listen, man, if she wins the Rumble, she's going to win it with the help of Howdy, Uncle Duty, and Uncle Big Bob, whatever the fuck their names are, and it's going to be terrible. I need Rhea Ripley to win the Women's
Royal
Rumble.
That would be the way you would fix her, send her back.
I'm calling Rhea Ripley right now. 100% pure destruction, just like you saw tonight when she took on Mia Yim. Pure destruction, just shitted on her. Actually, no, it wasn't Mia Yim, right? It was Candice. I'm sorry, I got them mixed up.
Candice LeRae.
Candice LeRae.
Yeah. Mia Yim wrestled Bayley.
Yeah, exactly, and Bayley shitted on her too. Okay, yeah, we'll talk about that later. That's down the road, but for me, it's Rhea Ripley to win the Rumble. Lewis, you have anything more you want to add on Uncle? By the way, I like Bray Wyatt. In the chat, they were saying why they don't know why this guy doesn't like Bray Wyatt. I actually like Bray Wyatt, but I don't think he needs all this bullshit to get over. Just let him be himself. I don't think he needs all this bullshit to get over.
I'm just tired. I just want to see where the hell this is going. At this point, it's been 2
nowhere.
months. It's like, dude, just give it. It's like I get it. They're like trying to hype us up, but at this point, it's like, dude, like, come on, you're just killing me over here. Like, just give me.
Wasn't there supposed to be reveals of who these people, like, of who the Wyatt Sixes, like,
dude,
right
everything
after?
you hear about these characters is all fan speculation. They don't put anything out about it. They don't talk about it. They just show you what you see on screen, and everything else that you consume about these characters is what you hear on TikTok and dirt sheets and fan theories. And people, just like WandaVision, the fans make their own theory, and then when they don't get the result in the end, they cry and bitch about it. But they're the ones who wrote a story that it wasn't their place to do so.
I think they sell merch no matter what these fuckers put on them, and that's the problem. They have dedicated, hardcore, loyal fans that will buy all the stuff they spew out. The mask, you see it already all over the place. See how many people I see streaming with that new mask? Obviously, they had to order it. Anyway, let's get into Damage Control. Damage Control. Bayley cutting a promo on Becky. She's talking about you can't stand that you lost to me. Bayley goes ahead and gives Kai and Sky the night off. And, she tells Becky, you better watch what I do to your friend Mia Yim. She has the match with Mia Yim. Bayley was in control with a reverse chin lock. We got a suplex from the apron to the floor after a little bit of a back and forth. Back inside, we get a cover for 2. They're fighting for position on the apron. Mia shoves her down, dives on her. Back inside, we get a beautiful strike combo and then a falling kick. German suplex follows it up. Drawing Bayley up the apron, we get a code breaker that connects so close out of the turnbuckles. Bayley gets a backslide and pops her feet up on the ropes. Bayley wins by pinfall with the backslide and her feet on the ropes in classic heel fashion. I'm not going to lie, this was a match I didn't give a shit about, so I'm going to go Jay. Bayley and Mia Yim.
Yeah, this match didn't do nothing for me, but I'm going to say this, I'm a fan of Mia Yim, and I kind of wish she didn't leave Impact. That's all I'll say.
All right, Lewis, what you got?
What was the nickname they were calling her?
Michi?
Mention.
So I'm sitting there completely forgetting that they're calling her that, and I'm like, who the fuck are they talking
Who's
about?
Michi?
I'm like on my phone. I look up. I'm like,
who the fuck is
Mia Yim?
Michi?
Who are they talking about?
I don't know.
And then
Michi.
My problem is on commentary. It was like, oh, Michi does this, Michi does that. I'm like, bro, you're gonna say her name every sentence. Like,
They're trying to make it. They're trying to embed it in your brain so you know her new character name.
By the way, I appreciate everybody that's in here right now. We're popping right now. We actually have 11 people watching right now, so that's fantastic. Maybe we can get some more people in here and take over the late night wrestling game. Because Dave LaGreca may be the prince in the morning, but I'm the king at night. I just had to cut another promo. ABJ.
That's that ABJ experience, bringing that late
ABJ,
night.
Yeah, maybe. You did bring some people in here. They want to see you talk some shit about Bray Wyatt, I guess. Something.
All my ABJers.
You know what it is? You went to the bar, and they probably know that you're in prime form now that you've had a couple of drinks in you, and they're like, we're going to see some good shit. Obviously, it's true, because now we went up to 14 viewers. I challenge to get the whole fucking world in here. Share this with your friends and family that love professional wrestling, and you know what? Share it with your sister, your mother, your grandmother, everybody else. Share it with Bully Ray, and let his stupid ass know that I'm on here right now, and that he owes me 2 tickets to WrestleMania, and I'm not going to fucking forget about it. But, you want another announcement? I'll give you another
Bully
announcement.
Ray can't even get a ticket to WrestleMania.
He's probably gonna buy it for me, man. Yeah, he's probably gonna heal me. He's not gonna give it to me. I'm going to Mania, whether he buys me the tickets or not, it don't matter. But if he doesn't buy it for me, then, I will be 100% on your side whenever you talk bad about Bully Ray. But we're gonna have to wait till next year to find out if that happens. So stay tuned right here on Wrestling with Savage. 2 things I promise you. I will always talk wrestling from my heart, and I will die on this live stream one day live. I will have a heart attack on this live. That's how I'm going to die, ABJ. You know that, right? I'm going to have a heart attack, I'm going to fall back, and the chat's going to be all sad, and then it's over. It's done.
And then I'm going to sneak in and take your winged eagle and run out.
That's okay. Unless my son's here, Nick Savage. There is another Savage. That's why I did Wrestling with Savage, because my son's nickname is Nick Savage. And if the day comes that me and my son can sit here and talk professional wrestling, not only will I be in my motherfucking glory, but we will take over the world.
He hates wrestling.
I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna be.
He's a Cowboys fan and he hates wrestling.
I'll be miserable. But yeah, another announcement. Okay, we're gonna also have another person on this show. Interview with Aaron Rourke. Or did we do Aaron Rourke already? We did, right? Yeah, I'm all fucked up. We're doing Vicious Vicky.
You're on to Vicious Vicky.
That's all right. Vicious Vicky, man. Thursday? No, Wednesday night after AEW. She's gonna be talking. Here's a video of her career, and just give it a listen. This Wednesday, when we cover AEW live right here on Wrestling with Savage, Vicious Vicky will be here live as our guest host. We're going to have a little bit of an interview, and then she's going to help me and the cast get right into breaking down AEW Dynamite. You may have seen her on AEW, or you've seen her in one of the hundreds of promotions she's conquered around the world. So successful, in fact, that she's had to pay someone to carry all the gold that she keeps winning in all these promotions. I promise you this is not going to be one you're going to want to miss. Vicious Vicky, right here live on Wrestling with Savage this Wednesday. Make sure you subscribe to her Instagram, give her a follow, and check out the interview in the show this Wednesday night. Here on Wrestling with Savage, and yes, that is going down on Wednesday night. Make sure you come back to watch that. And also, May 6th, like I said, we're going to be at Wrestling Con, 80s Wrestling Con 4. I'm going to have a legend there with me. I don't know exactly. I have an idea of who it's going to be, but if we can't lock him down, we're going to get another legend. If we can't get him, we're going to get another legend. If we can't get him, well, guess what? The rest of the legends are dead, so I'm sorry. But hopefully that's not the case. Let's keep it moving. Other shit we're going to be talking about right now. I want to give a shout out to the 80s Wrestling. This is what's going to be going on. Bret Hart's going to be there. Beverly Brothers, Demolition Axe and Smash, Dory Funk Jr., Dr. David Schultz, The Killer Beast, Lenny Poffo, Leilani Kai, Magnum TA, Mandy Fernandez, Mr. Hughes, Nikita Koloff? Yeah, Nikita Koloff. I haven't said that name in a while. Original Midnight Express, Papa Shango, Godfather, whatever you want to remember him as, The Skinner, Powers of Pain, Tommy Rich, Tony fucking Atlas. And I've seen some shit on Tony Atlas recently.
Yes! Bro, did
that
you see the
would
new
blow
video you
your
just posted?
fucking mind. Blow your mind. Virgil,
punching him in the face.
Virgil, Wendy
Happy
Richter.
New Year, y'all.
More names to be announced soon, and they're also going to have special attractions. The 80s Wrestling Lifetime Achievement Award for Macho Man Randy Savage. His brother Lenny Poffo is going to be there. The Kids of the 80s Wrestling Questions and Answers and a meet and greet. You can also take a class to draw pictures with Tony Atlas. You can listen and watch the Busted Open Radio live during their live broadcast on Saturday. And then you also get the 80s Wrestling Tricky Tray. I don't know what that's about, but looks cool. Looks like maybe you get to win some cool shit. 80s Wrestling Karaoke, 80s Wrestling Jeopardy, and of course 80s Wrestling Family Feud. Now you're watching the stream, but you were already watching the stream. But how does it feel to be watching the stream that's watching the stream? That's got to be fucking trippy, right? Let's not do that. How about we talk about Tantalizing Tony? Make sure you go follow Tantalizing Tony. He's a good dude. He lets me come talk wrestling with his great community. You can also, while you're there, scroll down to the bottom of his page. You can follow the Anthony Graves Pod, Anthony Blackwell Jr. People say that I should breathe sometimes, but you know what? You can breathe, anytime. When you die, you stop breathing, and that's when I'll stop breathing. Okay? I like to talk. Let's get back to pro wrestling talk. Pro wrestling talk, that's why we're here. Bailey versus Mia Yim. We already went over that shit show, right? I didn't like it. You didn't like it. Heel, win.
Hair watch.
Anybody have anything to add to Bailey and Mia Yim? Nobody? Okay, let's move on to the news that Gargano has a sprain and he will be back soon. Does anybody have a timetable? I say 4 weeks.
Yeah, sprain shouldn't be too long. Probably Rumble.
You think he'll be in time for the Rumble? Because it's
yeah.
Rumble's in what, 20 days?
He could do Rumble because he doesn't have to do a lot. He can just come in, make a spot, leave.
Okay. I wouldn't risk coming to the Rumble unless I'm winning it, but... Interview now, Kathy Kelly is with Candice LeRae. We get an injury update. She says Johnny is bummed. The doctors want to get him back to 100%. And then they ask her, what's next for you? She says the Royal Rumble is on the horizon. And then she's interrupted by the mommy, the baddest women's wrestler in the world today, Rhea Ripley. She says, you're excited to go to the Royal Rumble, mate? You're delusional. Candice says, I have just a good chance just like you. Ripley says, I'll rip your wings apart. Candice challenges Ripley to a match. And then she says, Dom will enjoy watching Mommy destroy you in the ring. And that's exactly what she did later in the night. Which
That's crazy. Buried Candice LeRae like that?
Buried her. Buried her. Yeah. Buried. Now, Jay, tell me what Theory and Seth Rollins did for you.
I mean, what can I say? Masterpiece. I thought they put everything out there. It was one hell of a match. All the spots were perfect, smooth. Theory came out strong as the future, and he came out strong tonight.
Shout out to John Gilcher, the Hand of the King. We appreciate you being here, part of the Savage Kingdom, like the rest of you. Mick Thomason, we know you're here, brother. I feel you. ABJ, Theory, walking to the ring. Obviously, Seth Rollins is going to come out. He's going to pretend to be injured, then he's not. The fans love Seth Rollins. In any arena that I've seen him go into, obviously the arena was very hot here. And Seth, with a disrespect, calling Theory a kid again. What is the story arc here? Where is this headed? And Lewis, I'm going to you next, so be ready. Actually, you know what? No, I'm going to Lewis next. And you're going last.
I think that what the path of Mania is pretty predictable, and I think WWE is trying to throw some swerves out there to try to keep people off guard and leak stuff to dirt sheets, like they're saying that Roman's going to lose the title beforehand. I think that's all just leaks to try to swerve people. I'm just glad Seth's good. I was with somebody over the weekend and I was like, yo, is your boy all right? And he's like, I don't know, let me send him a text message. And then he hadn't get the answer before he left. So it's good that Seth came out and was in crutches and then showed he doesn't need them. So that's good that he's not hurt, because losing Seth right now at this point before Mania would be a huge, it sucks to lose AJ, but Seth is a guy who you don't want to lose right now.
Now, Seth has been your workhorse.
He was my pick for 2022 Wrestler of the Year.
You know what? I can't even argue with that. I really can't. I mean, I know I picked Roman Reigns for my. I picked Roman Reigns for
storyline wise. Roman's your guy, but when it comes to just workhorse of the year, it's.
But my personal favorite's always Seth Rollins. Lewis, what you got for me, man?
I mean, I thought everything they did was great. I think the continuation. I was skeptical. I'm pretty sure I was skeptical last week. This week, I was pretty happy with what they did. I'm kind of over Bobby Lashley involved in that whole thing. I kind of want to see Bobby just go do something else.
Dude, the dud.
Yeah, at this point, it's Bobby could be somewhere else. The Seth and Theory should be the main focal point of this storyline right now. I don't need that. But
Bobby Lashley's a bottle rocket. You light him, and it shoots off, and it explodes, and then that's it.
And what do you want to see happen with Seth Rollins and Theory? Do you want to see them have a match at the Rumble, or both be in the Rumble? Do you want to see them be the last four? What predictions you got?
Have a match at Rumble, and then have Seth enter the Rumble and tease that he might actually win it.
Your name's not Ant. Your name's ABJ. You drank too much.
That's right. I'm sorry.
You drank way too much. This is the Ant. All right, maybe I got to say.
The whole time you've been waiting for me, and then I threw myself off. Sorry.
No,
I'm gonna drink about it.
Dude, go ahead.
I answered. You're good. You go ahead.
All right. I don't know. Part of me wants to see this at Mania.
Okay.
With Seth and Theory, because that could be a very good completion
to the story
of the storyline. Have them go at Mania. I mean, have them go at the Royal Rumble, and then kind of have it be put them. This is just me, but complete the story in a cage.
Okay.
That would be to see those two. For me to see those two guys go in a cage, I would to end.
That's the typical. That's why we have Anthony here. He is your super fan, and that's what a fan would. That's what the typical WWE fan would fucking say. You put him in a steel cage fight. Yeah! Let them kill each other. All right, actually, I don't mind that, but I think if we see an interesting story at the Rumble where maybe they almost eliminate each other and then Cody ends up eliminating them both, or maybe Sami Zayn, like some other people like to claim. I think the Rumble's going to be super interesting this year. I really do. I don't know. Maybe they're going to throw a complete swerve at us that none of us see coming. I have no idea where this is going, man. I mean, if I have to put my money on it, I'm putting my money on Prince Charming over there, the new Disney character, Cody Rhodes, who's going to have a Disney movie made after him, like the superhero, American hero. Guy looks like walking Homelander, like lasers are going to come out of his eyes. He's going to come back 250 pounds of jacked, just, it's going to be great. He's going to look sick. Seth is going to cry. I would love to see Seth just sitting on the ramp crying after he's eliminated for like a while. He's just crying, like literally, like onions, whatever he needs.
You think Cody comes in late in the Rumble or early?
Number one. No, he has to come out number one.
Late.
I don't think he comes out one.
1 or 30. 1 or 30, right?
3 or 4.
3 or 4?
I'm saying 30 because it's like that's what they do with like a bigger return.
Well, they've done it with Cena, right? Cena came out at 30, eliminated Triple H. Triple H was
like, Cody's the new Jesus, where he has to take a beat and he has to overexert himself and come out on top against all odds. I think 1's too on the nose. What was it? What was Flair's number again? Was it 3 or 4 when he came in?
I think it was 2.
3?
2.
I think it was either 3 or 4.
I'm not 100%, but I remember 2, but I could be wrong. I don't remember. We could look it up, but it doesn't matter. Anyway, I was going to be talking about Cody Rhodes in a little bit because he did have a video package again tonight. So obviously, Cody Rhodes. Jay, I'm going to go to you first. Where do you want to see the Cody Rhodes storyline go in 2023? What do you expect from 2023 for Cody Rhodes?
I've been saying it forever. I want him to win the belts at SummerSlam.
At SummerSlam.
That's what I want. I think it's too predictable. Rumble. I think it's too predictable. The whole WrestleMania storyline.
Okay. So that means Roman's still your champ at SummerSlam?
I mean, yes. And from according to what the internet is saying, they're saying that the whole poster with the whole electricity is a sign of The Rock.
Yeah, of course the internet likes to talk when we see Thunder.
Rock will definitely be at Rumble.
Probably.
Don't worry.
I mean, I wouldn't say definitely.
Honestly, I think I just like to see it at SummerSlam. I think it'll be a perfect setting there.
All right. Ant, I'm going to you first on this one. How about you? What do you see in the future for Cody Rhodes?
I see him winning the Rumble.
Okay.
Wrestling Roman at Mania, losing the title, and then I'm gonna go with Jay with the SummerSlam because that could be a very great storyline. That can be a very good storyline if booked right.
Okay. How about you, ABJ? What you got for Cody in 2023?
Cody does not come out as a surprise entrance for the Rumble. Cody's all about that promo. He wants the mic. He wants to tell people he's there. He wants to tell people he's coming. He comes sooner than later. I think he shows up on a Raw. I think he comes out and says, not only am I back and I'm going to be in the Rumble, but I'm going to win the whole damn thing. And he talks his Cody shit. Cody then goes on to win the Rumble and then wins either night 1 or night 2 at Mania.
So when's that promo happening, though? The night before? Like the week
gotta be
before?
soon. It's either a week or around the time of when Rumble's closer. Because I think he's all about the promo first. I don't think he's a surprise guy.
What do you think about the swerve of having The Rock in the Rumble with Cody Rhodes, and then maybe The Rock makes a return like a week before the Rumble, right, to hype it up, and then Cody comes out right after to say, "Oh, you think you're gonna win?" We're
gonna get Roman in a match at Rumble, is what they're saying. So Roman's wrestling at the Rumble.
There's so many better ways to book it.
Roman ends the Rumble by saying, "What else? Oh, he won I won the Rumble. Whoever wins, who's next?" And then that's when The Rock comes out. The Rock shows up at Rumble and stakes his claim because Rock doesn't need to win the Rumble to be in that storyline. This storyline has been embedded since the start. As the seat of the table. As soon as Roman came out and said, "I am the head of the table. I am the king."
He's
of
not the head of
Samoan
shit,
family."
man. Money talks and bullshit walks. We all know that.
But every single person, as soon as he said that, says, "It's The Rock."
Listen,
what are you talking about? You're the head of the table.
I'm gonna say something though. Every fan like me right now who says if The Rock comes at the Rumble, I'm gonna be pissed off and I'm not gonna like it.
No, you won't.
We're so full of shit. It's not even funny. If The Rock,
as soon as you hear
I'm saying if The Rock comes out at 30,
Acknowledge me.
If The Rock comes out at 30,
the place blows up.
If The Rock comes out at 30, Lewis, I'm gonna lose my fucking mind.
I kind of liked what ABJ said. It's not that he's in the Rumble; it's that he comes out after the match.
After the match, yeah. No, any of those scenarios could work.
Do it.
The only thing that would screw me up about it is if hypothetically we have The Rock do that, and then we have Cody win the Rumble. It's like
triple threat.
If we have the
triple threat.
Do you think it's triple threat? Or
I'd be happy with it.
You need to separate the titles on shows. So The Rock challenges Roman for the SmackDown title, Cody challenges for the Raw, and now 2 titles on 2 shows, and we can progress with storylines.
Trash. I hate it. I hate it though.
I'm fine. I like what he's saying. My only issue is how do we have enough time on TV to be like Roman Reigns, screw The Rock, and then screw you, Cody Rhodes.
You know why I don't like it? Because it puts an asterisk next to whoever wins it on the second night. Because he was tired from the match before. I don't like that. I don't want that for Cody. Cody deserves to win the title off the most powerful version of Roman Reigns. If you want a chance of creating whatever they're trying to create right now in Cody Rhodes, it looks like they're trying to make him the next Hulk Hogan or Ric Flair, whatever they're trying to do. You can't do that unless you leave an impact.
Or, Cody, listen, I beat The Rock night 1, and you picked up the scraps night 2. You have a whole storyline to build for as long as you possibly need.
So wait, you're saying Cody takes on The Rock?
No, Rock beats Roman. I mean, Roman beats The Rock night 1 and has a grueling match. Cody comes out night 2 and wins, but The Rock always has the ace in the hole to set up a Cody-Roman feud at any point in time in wrestling to say, you beat a beat-up Rock. You ain't the champ, bro. Like, you always have that ace in the hole. Then Cody goes on, does his thing for a while, and then you have like a Night of Champions or a Survivor Series, and then you get Cody and Roman eventually lock up. It's not because you don't want Cody and Roman to lock up after they battle at Mania 100 times after. That is something you leave one guy on one brand and one guy on the other, and keep them away from each other for a while. So when they do come back together, it's magical.
Listen, I like that take, and it does sound like it would be great long-term storytelling. And honestly, I don't know what they're going to do. Nobody knows what they're going to do, and that's what makes all this fun, is that we're sitting here talking about what we think is going to happen, and we're going to see what happens at the Rumble. The Rumble's going to be very telling.
Cody's only interested in one title.
Well,
he wants the title that eluded his dad.
For a guy that only wants one title, I'm tired of the 2 titles. One champion, more meaning. That's just how my take. They can bring back the titles anytime. We've had 2 titles for a long time now.
Unfortunately, having contracts with 2 major TV companies and having sets of titles, you're not going to get rid of that.
That's not going to last long, though, because if Disney buys them, I don't know, or Comcast.
Even if Comcast buys them, Comcast then makes money off their competitor by them.
Comcast is more like Lewis said, media related, so they're going to do everything they can to just, do things as business as usual. Disney, I think, would do a complete rebuild.
Yeah. But the thing is even NBC owning Comcast still produces TV shows that goes on other networks.
Yeah, that's a good point, John Gilcher. John Gilcher said, ABJ, the average fan can't follow storytelling that long term.
It doesn't have to be long term. It just goes from Rumble to Mania.
No, yeah, but I don't know what they're going to do. All I know is whatever they do with Cody Rhodes is probably going to be good because they're building him up for something great, I think. I don't think they're building him up to just let him lose or be shitted on. So Cody Rhodes is going to do good things. Just to tell you what happened with Theory in case you missed it. Now Theory was coming to the ring. He yelled out, the champ is here. Clear shot to John Cena. So there could still be that possibility that we see Theory versus Cena at Mania. Seth freaking Rollins, he's like asking for him. Where is he? Crowd was hot for Rollins. They were chanting for him. Theory goes on to say Seth was out-wrestled, outshined, and taken to school by the United States champion. And then Theory throws a little swerve out there saying that he's going to win the Rumble and become, he's going to walk out with the United States and the Undisputed Championship at WrestleMania, talking a lot of shit, a lot of smoke. And then Rollins, just leaves, calls him a kid, says, I'll see you at the Rumble, kid. Bobby Lashley then comes out and spears the life out of Theory. I'll give Theory props. He took that spear like a champion. Do we think the Hurt Business, because I thought there was a possibility Theory was going to get involved, not Theory, Bobby Lashley was going to get involved at the tag match in the end, and maybe Cedric and Shelton win, but then, of course, I knew that's not where they were going. Do we think Hurt Business gets back together before the Rumble, guys? Open forum on this one.
I sure hope so, because Bobby Lashley needs somebody to be around him so he can carry storylines longer and be interesting.
You hate Bobby.
Don't hate him. Don't hate him at all. I think he's a great look. I think he's good in the ring. But when it comes to his personality and have to carry a storyline and have to put together promos and make things interesting for a long-term storytelling, he can't do it.
I'll say this. When you look as good as Bobby does in the ring and his physical appearance, you don't really need to say much. And that's what I think. That's when he works best, when he's not talking.
Then go to Japan, because they don't worry about storytelling.
Well, we got plenty of people that can talk in
your
WWE. It's nice to have that stereotypical like monster of a human being who looks like a walking god. I mean, he does. He looks like God.
He'll be fine.
How about you, Lewis? What's your take on Bobby Lashley coming out and then just spearing the shit out of Theory?
Yeah, like I said before, like I don't like Bob. I think this is a Seth and Theory.
You were about to say I don't like Bobby Lashley.
No, I love Bobby Lashley. I think Bobby Lashley could have been the heavyweight champion of Bellator.
Yeah.
But that's beside the point. I just don't think Bobby needs to be part of this feud. You know, we've already had. We've had so many people kind of interject themselves in this feud, and I'm like when we had the Ziggler stuff, and I'm just like, dude, let's keep it Seth and Theory. That's it. Have Bobby go do something else. Clearly he has a hurt business problem. Let's figure that shit out. Like we don't need this right now.
Bobby Lashley's completely done with the MMA, right?
Oh well, once he signed with WWE, he was done. When he was in Impact, he was still doing Bellator.
Who do you think would win in a real fight, Brock Lesnar or Bobby Lashley?
Lesnar.
Hands down, right? Like no.
It's just the guy's an NCAA All-American champion. You know what I mean? Like Bobby's good.
Like a street fight, let's say. Street fight.
Still
Lesnar.
probably Brock.
Brock?
Yeah.
Brock, yeah.
Do you think it would be a short fight?
Maybe. They're both old at this point, you know.
Okay, all right. Here, one more question
some cans.
before we move on to Rhea Ripley and Candice LeRae. Brock versus Haku, street fight.
Haku.
Yeah, because Haku's ripping your fucking ear off.
Haku.
God, I think he would just eat Brock Lesnar. All right, Rhea Ripley versus Candice LeRae. That's sure shit what happened to Candice LeRae. She got ate alive. She got destroyed. Rhea Ripley looking absolutely incredible tonight, abusing Candice. Complete destruction. Ends the match with a Riptide. Gets the 1-2-3. And in my opinion, as always, impressive. Anthony, and not Anthony ABJ. We're going to Ant-Man Anthony. What did you think of Rhea Ripley and Candice LeRae tonight?
Squash match.
Your favorite squash match. That's it? That's all you got? Squash? Lewis?
She made Candice LeRae look like a fucking jobber.
Like a bug.
Tonight.
Like a squash, like a bug.
This was a match you should have thrown like a Dana Brooke in, not Candice LeRae. Because you completely just jobbed out Candice LeRae.
Fucking chat coming alive talking about who's going to win between Bobby Lashley and Lesnar and Haku. Everyone's saying Haku in the chat. Everybody's saying Haku.
Yeah, smart fans.
If they know the stories about Haku, then they understand. Jay, how about you, man?
I'm agree with Lewis on this. LeRae shouldn't even be in this match, and I don't understand the purpose of giving her time to shit on her.
What was the point? Why not just take her off TV with Johnny and then they come back repackaged together? What's the point of shitting on her before Johnny comes back?
Heel. I think she's a great heel.
I've seen better from Candice LeRae, but I haven't been impressed since she's come back to Raw. Like, in my opinion.
I'm not
ABJ,
opposed to them bringing
what you got,
up Indy
Lewis?
Hartwell and putting her in a tag team.
And her and Indy Hartwell?
Yeah, I think
that was them on NXT.
Like,
neither one of them are doing anything.
Indy Botch Fest Hartwell?
But they were champ.
Better than nothing.
No, nothing is better.
Hold on. No,
I like it.
They need to do what they did in NXT with Dexter, Candice, Indy, and Johnny.
Well, first of all, they got to resurrect the women's tag team, Anthony. They don't have no women tag teams. And how many women's tag teams can you even name right now?
But
in WWE main roster.
But
exactly.
But if you would have but who said that they needed to be a tag team?
And Lewis did. Lewis.
They have to be a tag team. I'm sorry, brother.
I just think it gives Candice something to
do. Listen, it worked in NXT.
She's never gonna win the.
It worked in NXT.
Title, so.
It worked in NXT. I guarantee you, it's not gonna get over in WWE. Not when you have all these Goliaths walking around stealing all the heat from the fans. When Seth Rollins comes out, he sucks the fucking life out of the room.
there's one thing Johnny Gargano can do in the main roster that would be good and that everybody would love, and NXT fans would watch it all over again, and WWE fans who've never seen it because they don't watch NXT would watch it and fall in love with it as well, is you need to put DIY back together. And I think that's what they're waiting for.
Yes.
And then after a couple months of them working together, guess what? Ciampa turns heel on him, and then we get Johnny Ciampa on the main roster, and they recreate everything they did in NXT.
Listen,
and then eventually,
I'm good with that, but if you're just talking about just Indy and just Candice as a tag team right now being
they
taken
have to
serious,
do that because
it has to be all together, though.
Candice looks like she was brought in, unfortunately, because Johnny came in, and they're like a package deal. They don't know what to do with her because they only book 4 women in the company. But Indy and Candice together just seems to make sense.
I'll show you why it has to all go together, because when you don't have all the pieces, you start looking like the OC and Mia Yim. Look at Mia Yim just getting her ass beat on tonight. The OC is in the building. They don't even come to try to help her or grab her, not one time. Then they come out to have a tag team match. How weak does that make the OC look as a unit when they're not even there to back up Mia Yim when she's getting jumped in the back, jumped in the ring? That's why it doesn't work, because there's no AJ Styles. The same way Indy Hartwell and Candice LeRae wouldn't work if there's no Johnny Gargano and Dexter Lumis and all these different pieces.
But they're there though.
I think if they come to main
But they're
roster,
not-
because
they're
they
not
never
together
really acknowledge. They never really acknowledged since Johnny and Candice came back that they are a couple.
It's not official yet. Like
yeah, and I don't think they have to. I mean, everybody in the locker room knows that Becky and Seth are together, but they don't come out as a couple. They don't acknowledge their couples. They don't come out, and if
No,
Becky's
Indy-
getting beat down, Seth don't get involved. I think that's fine.
We've seen Dexter, Johnny, and Candice on screen, but Indy was never there. Not on the main show. You have to get them all there at the same time for that shit to actually work out. Anybody have any more takes?
When Ciampa got hurt, they were actually doing the whole bit when Dexter Lumis was taking Ciampa away.
Well, Ciampa's out for a while, isn't he, ABJ? Isn't he gone
Yeah,
for like
but before
6
he
more
got
months?
hurt, that was the bit. Was Ciampa was being taken away by Dexter Lumis, away from the Miz, and it was like, oh, Dexter's the bad guy here. But then you realize that Miz was, so maybe he was taking Ciampa away to say you don't belong with him. You need to, and then he says, oh, I'm with Johnny, and then the whole thing, like, you know what I mean? Like, but unfortunately, we never got that payoff because Ciampa then was hurt.
All right, listen, I was having a deep conversation with Tony, tantalizing Tony, during the Mustafa Ali and Dolph Ziggler. So who wants to volunteer? Does anybody remember what was said, and should I care about any of this?
They're both insanely talented people, and they would be champions anywhere they fucking go. But unfortunately, in WWE, they don't care about Dolph Ziggler and Mustafa Ali, and it's a crime because they're both insanely
for
talented.
Mustafa Ali, I'll say this. Dolph Ziggler, his problem is he's become very complacent over the last 6-7 years. He doesn't
Makes
play
good
politics.
money, he don't care.
He doesn't play politics, and if you don't do the politics part, sometimes you get left behind as far as titles go. You got to be in there fighting for it.
Everyone talks about who's the next Shawn Michaels, who was the next Shawn Michaels, who was the next Shawn Michaels. You're looking at him in Dolph Ziggler, but they never pushed him.
I agree with that. Jay, how about you? Mustafa Ali, Dolph Ziggler. You didn't give a shit about that. Did you give a shit about Bronson Reed's promo with The Miz?
I like this. I like Bronson Reed. I thought his facial expressions was great. I mean, this guy is a real serious threat. He could be a big time player if they could just do right with him. They did right with him in NXT. I love that whole presentation. I hope they could bring it up in the main roster. I can't wait. This guy, come on, guys. He was a former NWA Australian champion, for God's sakes. This guy got potential. I loved it, but I didn't really care less about the Miz. Sorry.
Yeah, Miz just seems out of place tonight. I don't know what they're doing with him. They just stick him. Like, you want the answer to MJF, it's sitting in front of your face, but you have him doing Miz TV and doing stupid, like kidnapping people or whatever, pretending to be kidnapped, whatever, man. I don't know. I don't care. We get the match, Solo Sikoa versus Dolph Ziggler. The shoulder block from fucking Solo was nasty. Dolph, still, in my opinion, works better than anyone. He isn't winning championships, but he sure tries to steal the show every opportunity he gets. I love Dolph Ziggler. I love his in-ring attitude always. But Solo wins with a Samoan spike. Lewis, what'd you think of this match? Or Ant, whoever wants to answer.
Go ahead, Lewis.
I mean, I love Solo. I've loved Solo since I watched him in NXT. And I think that when we talk about the next generation of guys that are going to take over WWE, I think Solo Sikoa is one of those guys.
Absolutely agree with that. Lewis, that's a great take. I think Solo's on a trajectory unlike anyone from NXT. Skipped right over Braun Breaker.
still in his 20s.
Straight into the number one storyline in professional wrestling in general, and booked as an enforcer, and looks good. Ant-Man, what you got for me on Solo Sikoa and Dolph Ziggler tonight?
I'm gonna agree with Lewis on this. He looks great in the ring. He's got a great presentation. I just don't like the opponent that they put him in the ring with.
Oh, it's kind of random.
Yeah. It was like, yeah, cool. We invade Raw. Who are we gonna put out there? Let's just put Dolph Ziggler out there with Solo Sikoa, who's gonna squash this motherfucker like a bug.
Well, just so you know, the chessboard has how many pawns, ABJ?
A lot.
So, ABJ, what's your take on this?
Perfect person to put out there to sell and make Solo Sikoa look like a monster, and it doesn't hurt anybody because Dolph Ziggler he loses every fucking week.
Oh, this guy in Twitch over here, we appreciate Twitch. The Bizzard, get your ass on over to YouTube and let me know that Raw pissed you off and that you almost passed out because it was awful. You're not completely wrong. We did get a banger in the main event. Jay, you got anything to say on Solo versus Dolph before I move on?
I mean, not really. I just didn't like that botch where the right hand didn't hit nothing but air, but that's about it.
There's always a botch. What are you going to do? We get the interview with Damage Control. I don't give a fuck about any of this, and I don't care what any of you have to say. I think Damage Control is shit. Whole faction should break up, and Bayley should be on her own, because that's the best version of Bayley. We get Miz TV with the Judgment Day. Judgment Day interrupts. They make their entrance. The Miz apologizes for not having enough chairs. Dom says he learned in prison that you got to run with your crew, and snitches get stitches, bitches. Rhea and Finn tell him that he is safe, and that now he can share his experience. The Miz wants to know. You know, I thought this was okay, but I don't like the way the Miz is being used. Anyway, this leads to a tag team match. You have the OC, you got Finn Balor and Damian Priest, Dom and Ripley ringside. You got Gable and Otis, and then of course you got the Street Profits. Now, the winner of this gets to fight the Usos at Royal Rumble, I believe. But I was thinking that the Street Profits deserved this more than anybody. But as the match progressed, this ended up being the best part of Raw. This match actually ended up becoming a banger. I love the work between Finn Balor. Finn selling that injury. Obviously, we know he's not really injured because he was sitting there the whole time instead of going to the back to get medical attention. So Dom has to come in his place, and he finishes the match off by screwing over the Street Profits and getting the perfect heel kind of, win and looking like a stud. He looked like a stud in all his vignettes, looked like a stud in all of his promos, and now he picked up a big win on the main event of Monday Night Raw that's leading to a championship match for a tag team. What better push could you ask for the kid? I enjoyed the main event of Monday Night Raw, but only the second half of it. I still think the Street Profits deserve to beat the Usos at WrestleMania because we've seen the Street Profits lose to the Usos a lot. And what you got for me?
But now I have a question for you guys. Do you guys see Judgment Day taking the titles off the Usos at Rumble?
Maybe. Now I do, yeah, unfortunately. After what I saw tonight from Rhea Ripley against her match with Candice LeRae, after I saw tonight what Dom did, 100%, I think they're on a big trajectory to have a big-time year. If we're going with the storyline that everyone's talking about, which is the dissension of the bloodline, I don't know if it's going to happen, but I see it being possible that the dissension starts at the Rumble with the Usos losing the titles.
But now here's my problem with this. I think it's going to be a great match, but what the fuck is the story behind it? What's going to be the storyline? You're going to give us 2
I don't
weeks
know.
of
ABJ apparently has an answer for you.
What do we want at War Games?
War?
What do we want at War Games? What two teams did we want at War Games?
Ah, yeah, Bloodline and the Judgment Day.
Why?
Because they're the best two teams that were on this TV show.
There's your answer.
Best two factions on the TV show. Because there's no hurt business.
Judgment Day is dominating everywhere they go, and the only team they haven't dominated, the only person they haven't crossed paths with, and the only people they haven't every single week, Bloodline's coming out and fighting the entire roster and fighting every show that they walk into. But there's one team who also been dominating that they haven't crossed paths with.
Here's the question, ABJ, though. If they do win the titles, and actually, Jay, I'm gonna go to you first on this question. Do you think if they win, who wins? Is it Finn Balor and Damian? Or is it Damian and Dom? Or do we get like a Freebirds complex going on where, we don't even know what's going to happen?
I think it's going to be Damian and Dom. But I think Finn Balor doing
We'll
the
play
injury
their
bit
injure?
is
Okay.
plans because I think they're gonna do Finn Balor and Edge.
How about you, Jay? You agree with that?
Anything's possible, you know. I'm just gonna say this. I actually enjoyed this whole tag team turmoil. I think the MVP goes to Damian Priest. He was on fire today. Every moveset he was doing, the right hands, the kicks, the South of Heaven, you name it. This guy was doing it all. But I gotta give a shout out to Dawkins. That moonsault he did over, I really thought he was gonna hit that announce table.
He landed perfect.
It was just a perfect fucking landing.
Dawkins is my most improved of 2022.
Same here, male.
And on top of that, Ford looked impressive too. That fucking drop kick is just fucking beautiful.
How about that right hand to Damian Priest that busted his lip open?
It looked, everything in that match looked beautiful. I enjoyed this. I think it was all about Judgment Day from the get-go. It was all about Dom. I'm glad he got his shine. And I just don't see it. I see Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn taking the belts off the Usos at WrestleMania. I'm still going to call that.
A lot of action in those last
titles
2
need to
minutes.
get split though. Do we need titles on 2 brands?
That's
Maybe.
what I was gonna say. Split the title.
Anything's possible
Give John
after
Cena
they
one.
split it.
And you know who the Street Profits are going to rival against? Street Profits need someone to work. Who's a brand new heel team coming on?
Pretty deadly.
Nope. Who's a brand new heel team coming on?
So then what we do with Owens and Singh? We just leave them
Owens and
behind?
Zayn can take the titles because they can take the SmackDown or Raw, and then the other ones go the other way. But Street Profits are going to rival somebody else because we're thinking Street Profits are good. We need a storyline with the Street Profits. You know who Street Profits line up with right now, and that would be good storytelling? Hit Row.
Yeah, no, I was just thinking about them too. But honestly, WWE in
And
general.
if Bailey loses, if Bianca loses her title, what better way to put those three together against?
No, that's actually a really good point, ABJ. But I just want to see an influx of more teams in general. I think WWE needs at least 4 more solid
they need to
tag
repackage
teams.
the tag team division.
Yeah, I heard Pretty Deadly's on their way up. Hopefully the Creed brothers are. Maybe.
Sanity looks like they're coming back.
Maybe. But yeah, the match was actually a banger at the end of it. I loved it. I loved Monday Night Raw for this match only. I thought Monday Night Raw was kind of stale tonight, all the way up until, Rhea Ripley kicking ass was cool. And then this match, it finished off strong. There was a ton of action in the last 2 minutes that you were just like, holy shit, who's going to win this? Had you wondering what's going to happen, had you invested. I liked it. I had a good time with it. Alpha Academy, though, what are we doing with them, you guys? Anybody have a booking for them?
I didn't like what they did with them tonight. I didn't like
Nothing?
how it was presented.
Do we break them up? Do we keep them together? Does Gable go on his own?
They stay together.
Do we bring back the Cruiserweight title?
No.
Do we bring back Money in the Bank being only at WrestleMania? No, right? Because
Nope.
it's a fucking pay-per-view again. You would keep it a pay-per-view, guys? All of you?
I mean, why not? For now, see how it plays out.
I like the gimmick of doing like the IC title ladder matches at Mania. I always liked that, like when they did it at 31 and 32.
Listen, the Money in the Bank matches, the ladder matches at Mania always have a special place in my heart. Like, for some reason, it just makes me feel good to watch a ladder match or a Money in the Bank match at Mania.
There's a
You get
title
more for
coming
your
back,
money.
but it isn't the cruiserweight.
What title's coming back?
The European Championship's coming back.
Oh, I heard about that. Yeah, that's great. I'm okay with that. Who's our European champion then, Jay? Who's the first European champion?
Drew McIntyre.
McIntyre.
Yeah, but is
Because
the
it's
European
Clash
title
of
coming
the
back
Castle.
to Europe, or is it coming back because it's coming back?
You know
Coming
what?
back
I'll
because
give
they're
it to
building
Bush.
it
I'll give
into
to Bush.
NXT UK. Well, instead of NXT UK, it's going to be NXT Europe, and Drew will probably be the front runner of that company for a while.
Sheamus Gunther at WrestleMania for the IC title. Sheamus wins. You like it?
I'll take it.
I predicted that to be the main to be a title shot at Mania anyway. Was Sheamus Gunther? It only makes sense. Sheamus only needs the IC title to be a Grand Slam, and he's done everything in the company. And what better way to do it?
And what year did he have now? One of the best
Yeah.
years of his career, man.
He deserves it. He deserves it more than anybody else, and I think that long-term story. I literally said when Sheamus and Gunther finally lost to each other at Clash of Castle, which I thought was stupid, I said give them time to cool off from each other and then find a way back to each other before Mania, and that is your Mania moment. Sheamus gets his Grand Slam, gets the only title that eluded him his entire WWE career. Because 4 years ago, this dude had a fucked up neck, and he was done wrestling. He was gone. He was never coming back. And he got
He did
himself
rehab
healthy.
and he was working his ass off, man. Working his ass
and
off.
he had the best year. He had the best year of his career in 2022.
All right. How about this? Do we see Ridge Holland and Butch become tag team champions this year at some point?
No.
Do we see them breaking up? Do we see them? Because I like Butch. Pete
I
Dunne,
could see it
whatever
as
you're calling him. No.
swerve, but not like a long-term title reign, like a transitional kind of.
Lewis, are they calling him Pete Dunne right now, or are they still calling him
No,
Butch?
it's Butch.
I think they're still calling him Butch, unfortunately.
That's a
But he's wearing
fucking
Pete Dunne gear.
Yeah.
They gotta call him Pete Dunne again. It'll help me sell figures.
Ah, man. Is there anything else to cover on WWE, boys? That you got? Anybody want to bring up anything? Because we're at an hour 14. We can keep going. I don't mind. We got 7 people watching us. I don't really care.
I think
they need
to find a way to separate the tag team titles and the world titles, because, like I said, both companies who are TV deals want champions on each brand. And I think going into the new year, I think we're going to get that definitive who's on what brand going forward, which I think is good, because I think with good storytelling and good booking, keeping certain people away from each other who've been overused for a long period of time on each brand can be very, very good. And then next year when they revamp everything and move people around, then you can bring more people back.
ABJ, watch this. Just look at Jay's face. Are you paying attention to Jay's face?
Go ahead.
Jay, why don't you tell us about Roxanne Perez?
Oh, no.
You want me to talk about Roxanne?
Well, all right. You know what? Talk about tomorrow night. NXT, we're going to see in the main event Grayson Waller versus Braun.
I'm going to talk about WrestleMania. I just think, ABJ is saying, I just think there's amazing stories that you can do. I mean, I would love to see a story with Raquel Rodriguez winning the championship, though. Why not? I would like to see something like that. I would like to see Kevin Owens win the tag team belts.
I think that's going to happen.
That Sheamus Gunther idea that ABJ is talking about, you know what? I didn't even think about it till you mentioned it. That's a good idea. I like that as well. I think there's a lot of things you could do. Just, do you want to execute it or not?
How about Imperium Tag Team Champions? Giovanni Vinci?
No.
Ludwig Kaiser?
Yeah.
Not right now.
No? Okay. All right. By the way, shout out to Mick Thomason. He thinks British Bulldog was the... actually, he said British Bulldog was the first European champion, which brings up my next question. Who's the best European champion of all time?
D'Lo Brown.
D'Lo Brown? I knew that you were
Spike Dudley.
D'Lo Brown.
Spike Dudley?
Shawn Michaels only because he won it the night British Bulldog's sister died, and he was a savage about it. Savage moment right there.
I'm going to give it to the British Bulldog. I thought he represented it with
The answer
class.
is
It's Bulldog.
I like Mick's choice. British Bulldog was a powerhouse that was never utilized to his full potential. Should have been a WWE champion.
He was a bum. That's why Shawn dumped him out of his ass on the Rumble.
Yeah.
Actually, I want to say something real quick. I know I'm someone who struggled really hard with NXT for a while, and I didn't watch it. But last week, your boy did something I haven't done in a long time with pro wrestling.
You watched it finally.
I watched NXT. I watched Impact. I watched everything but MLW.
Impact's always a hard watch.
Dude, Impact. So Impact right now is in the same boat for me as NWA, because I watch NWA, and possibly NXT, where I don't care about the world champions. I don't care about Titus. I don't care about Bully Ray going for the title. Sorry, I know that's your boy. And I don't really care about Bronson Reed right now, which I think Bronson Reed has all the potential in the world. They just don't have someone. They don't have a strong counterpart for him.
Is everybody here watching Hard to Kill?
But I will, because I hope my boys win the tag team titles. But everything in the middle of that card is fun. I think Impact's roster is really good. I think NWA has a fun roster.
Who's
and
your
NXT,
boys again?
Man, Ace Austin and Chris Bay.
Has to be Matt Cardona. Isn't it Matt Cardona and Brian Myers fighting for the titles too?
Yeah, they're not winning though.
Why not?
No, I don't.
Because one of them is going to a different company in a couple weeks.
So they're gonna take that title with them.
Nope, Chris Bay and Ace Austin.
Is Cardona in that match?
I think so.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I was gonna say a lot of the guys that we booked for ETU aren't Impact guys because of Impact being that same weekend.
Hey, Lewis, let's talk about something controversial. I was excited to see Nick Gage promoted. Yeah. What happened with Nick Gage?
This is not something I can talk about.
What happened, man? Give us some scoop.
Let's just say Brett Lauderdale was not informed of the venue that this would be taking place in, and the how do I say this?
Oh, he's a dick.
He thought this was just the signing. Like, in a sense of, he thought this was at the Wrestling Universe, not a show.
Yeah, so when he found out it was a show, he was like, no, I don't think so.
I mean,
So-
that's just...
Can I tell you a Nick Gage story that doesn't involve Nick Gage?
Sure.
Me and my buddy Philly Mike Swanson. I've been taking him to.
Tony's
physical
in the
therapy.
house.
Philly Mike Swanson works a lot with Grimm. He works a lot with GTS. He helps out them. He helps out GTS a lot, and he helps out Game Changer a lot. Game Changer Wrestling. So we're in a gas station, and I just got done physical therapy. I'm taking him out. We're sitting in the gas station. We ordered food, and he's sitting there with his crutches, and the state trooper walks in. Big, huge motherfucker, like 6'some" tall, bald head, white dude, state cop. And he walks in, and we probably both smell like weed. And he just stares at us. He stares at Mike, and he stares at me, and he gives us that eyes. He looks and he goes, "I like your hoodie." And I'm like, "Oh, I'm wearing my ABJ hoodie." And he goes, "No, his hoodie, GCW." And we're like, "Oh, cool, man. Like, you like GCW?" And he goes, "MDK all day, motherfucker." And I was like, this cop's gang affiliated in the middle of a gas station. Coolest moment of my life. Pro wrestling is the most magical thing in the world, and especially when you get those wild interactions like that, it made my fucking day.
Yeah, I love Nick Gage. Did a nice video for me that's actually in the intro of this show, which I love, and you're all going to see it right now in a couple of seconds because that's the end of this episode that you've been watching Monday Night Raw. Thank you to Jay and Lewis and Anthony, and of course, ABJ. Make sure you go follow his podcast. Feel free to ABJ to drop the link in the chat right now on YouTube so everybody can go follow you. I'll be also dropping your link in the comments. But yeah, everybody go follow
Anthony Blackwell, all social media.
ABJ,
Anthony
go follow
Blackwell Jr.
Tantalizing
on,
Tony.
Yeah.
Go. Anybody else want to shout out? Go for it.
No, I just said Anthony Blackwell Jr. all social media. If you don't find Anthony Blackwell, just A Blackwell. YouTube channel's there. But if you want to listen in your car and you want audio only, just ABJ Podcast. I'm on all major podcast platforms.
That's fucking
And if you want to be a guest, hit me up.
Yeah, he's got a nice link tree, and you can actually apply to be a guest on his show. So if you don't have anything better to do on a random night, you hit up ABJ. He'll bring you on. He'll talk some wrestling or life or whatever you want. I believe he's going to start doing movie reviews and all kinds of stuff, too, which is great. And,
movie, TVs, comic books, video games. I'm doing a horror movie show with my wife, and I'm also doing beer content.
I like the beer content. I'm definitely going to be watching some of that, and you should too. But you know what you should be watching? Tomorrow night, we'll be here live for NXT. I might be doing a show with Analyzing Tony tomorrow. NXT Watch Along, maybe. If he sends me the link, I'm there. And then right after that, 10:30, we go live with NXT, Jay's favorite show in the universe, where he gets to watch the pillar of the NXT community, I guess, Roxanne Perez, according to him. And and Wednesday night is when you're going to want to be here, because Vicious Vicky's going to be here. She's going to be doing a guest host spot. Can't wait for you guys to see that live right here on Wrestling with Savage. Thank you so much for joining us. Everybody have a good night. God bless, and take care. We'll see you tomorrow night for NXT, right here on Wrestling with Savage.
Show in the world, and the loveliest, baddest, hottest ballet in the game, the lovely Miss Larkin approves this message.
I say you are listening to Wrestling with Savage, the best podcast in the history of podcasts.
Pedigree, 1, 2, 3, proud say you live as the champ. A last ride straight to hell, a tombstone, a choke slam. Here to give it to you raw. This is Wrestling with Savage. SmackDown, hold the title. This is Wrestling with Savage. What?
Because they are the best tag team in the world.
It'd be my honor to be a guest on your show.
Christmas Bully Ray, good job, Savage. It's the best hat in pro wrestling. Take that fucking Raw Bandit. Raw fucking
with Savage. Listen to Wrestling with Savage. It's MDK and Wrestle with Savage all fucking day.
I say you live as the champ. A last ride straight to hell, a tombstone, a choke slam. Here to give it to you raw. This is Wrestling with Savage. SmackDown, hold the title. This is Wrestling with Savage. What?
I'm trying to give these two W's.